Hey y'all, it's Timidity and I'm feeling shitty because I went to a date last night and I was looking pretty, but my date was a fucking asshole. And let's just say now I have to hit up his mother and let her know how much of a terrible son she's raised. And I feel slightly sick. I'm wearing makeup. Anyway, I don't know. I get a lot of backlash when I do wear my afro. It's weird because it's like it doesn't seem like that uncouth of a style. Like whenever I see photos of Angela Davis or whatever or Pam Grier, like back in the day, it's like okay, that's how her hair looks. I see nothing wrong with having any sort of afro textured hair, but some people do. Even if you're in a predominantly black area, you can still have people being like, "Ooh, I like your hair. Ooh, I bet when it's straightened it's long and thick as fuck. Ooh, I like your Negro naps. Ooh, I love that nappy shit." It's like that's not a compliment, sir, but you're a fucking 60-year-old black man, so I'm gonna just assume you're a product of your time. And I actually do a very good job of taking care of my afro, believe it or not. Oh, it looks great. Oh, you're just seeing me the next morning after a very terrible day with my hair flattened and a little aloof after I've been, fucking with some of the coils here and laying on my pillows there, whatever. But I don't like, also, sometimes you've seen me with my hair truly 100% toe up from the floor up. And the reason for that is I don't like going to black braiders. I don't like going to black hair salons. It's always some bullshit. Always some bullshit. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, whether I had my hair relaxed or had it natural, like, there's just always something. For example, I actually went to this one company to get my hair done before. And this, oh my God, I'm not gonna say the name of the company for reasons. Let's just say they act like the girl I was dealing with was like this light skinned black girl who had a looser hair texture, and oh my god, she had such a fucking attitude. And you could even you could ask her to not like bump the ends inward. She would keep giving me the Michelle Obama look, and I was like, oh, actually, can you flip the ends the other direction, like outwards? She'd be like, okay, and then flip them inwards, and then I'd say, oh, I mean, no, the other direction. She'd go, oh, and then flip them inwards. And I had to tell her, I had to send her a picture of Rihanna at the Met Gala. And I was like, I would like you to do this to my hair. She was like, you just want to walk out looking like that? I said, yeah. Just like that, really. Yeah. So you want me to, okay, okay. And then she acted like it was it's like, bitch, it's what I want to fucking do. You're getting paid. Shut the fuck up. And then funny enough, the way I styled it with my bangs in the front, like, did I get some hating ass looks from the bitches at that brand, which I cannot legally mention? Yes. But fuck them. Because funny enough, like a few months later, that's when the whole wolf cut stuff started trending, and then people had hair that was pretty identical to how mine looked. And either way, it's like, bitch, I got a full head of luscious hair that goes past my shoulders. Fuck you. You don't have to like it. You don't even gotta love it, but you got paid to do it. So how about you shut the fuck up and do it? But I remember after that experience, I was like, ooh, that was so, like, she had been abrasive multiple times, and then even before she would charge me for the wrong services and stuff, and I didn't fuck with that. So eventually I was like, I'm gonna go to, like, I'm gonna admit, I kind of thought to myself, maybe I should go to someone who is not of my race. Cause white people, they do that shit where it's like, even if they fucking like, they can still be rude and stupid and snarky, but at the very least I can be sure, like, how do I put this, usually in a different way. I'm not saying this to shit on black hairstylists, but at the same time, if you do want to see me shit on black hairstylists, I will 100,000% do that for the rest of this video. But don't worry, I'm about to shit on a white hairstylist. The main goal was, I'm pretty sure they would still do my hair white because I've had my hair done by people of all different races before. I just simply was like, maybe I should go to like, try it out. Like, let's see if the stereotype of them being like passive and like not trying to directly like be like, I just didn't want to have a shitty experience. I have enough shitty experiences. This is going to be a long video, so strap in. So I went to their other location for this company in a little bit more of a suburban, like mostly like old white people community or whatever. And the lady there, she was so sweet, so nice, everything. We made pretty good conversation. And I showed up, I had a nice big like afro, but it was like thoroughly moisturized. I did like so much conditioning, a lot of detangling. I made sure it came out basically like as soft, like you could run a comb through it super fucking easily, wet or dry. But what happened was, she was doing my hair, but she was taking a while to straighten it. Combing it was not the issue. Not so what. She even complimented me. She was like, "This is so easy to work with. Like, oh my god, it's so easy to comb out." And I said, "Thank you." As she was washing my hair at some point, and she was like, it seems like you might need a deep conditioner." And I thought to myself, okay, my hair like probably could use a deep conditioner because my hair just doesn't hold moisture all that well, and sometimes I don't take the best care of it. even though I did like already do a pretty good job of like really deep conditioning beforehand. And I kind of thought, oh, well, I still was like, hey, I'll trust her. She was like, oh, would you like to add a deep condition? And like, it seems like you just need a little extra. And I said, oh, okay. How much would a deep conditioner be? And then she said, like, oh, just like $5 for the treatment. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. And the rest of the service, like, she blow dried and like blew out my hair pretty easily. But then the issue was she kept straightening my hair, and she didn't know how 4C textured hair worked. So she kept trying to straighten it, kept trying to straighten it. But then, it was also hot that day. So, and she had the heat on super high, and it was making me sweat. And then some hair that she would get, like, would revert as she was straightening get. So it took her a while, and I guess I was one of the first people in ages she had dealt with hair like that. And it's like it took a while, but even then, like, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry this is taking so long. Oh, it seems like as soon as I get done with one section, another section starts reverting." I was like, "Ah, it's okay. It'd be like that sometimes. Like, thank you for taking this on. It's all right." But then guess what? When I got my fucking bill, it was supposed to be like $60 lowest, like $80 maximum. Why did I check the bill? It was 175 something for like a generic like silk press treatment. I asked her about it, and she said, and basically she was like, "Oh, yeah, I added in like two detangling fees." I said, "Didn't you say my hair was perfectly like easy to work a comb through, like there was no tangles whatsoever?" She said, "Yeah, but you know, it did take a while to get your hair fully straightened. Like it wouldn't fully go straight, and it took a while." Why am I getting charged for your mistake? If hair takes a while to do, it's not my problem for having hair that you don't need to know how to deal with. If anything, like, I'm not saying she needed to give me a discount. Fuck no. But at the same time, it's like, if anything, your response to, like, oh, I'm doing a black person's hair for the first time in a while and I'm forgetting how it works. And it's taking me a while to, like, actually, because it's like, she basically was like, you have a nice thick head of hair. It's just so thick that it took a while to work through it. Cool. Just because I'm blessed genetically doesn't mean you charge me more. It means you go, oh, I'm sorry. I haven't dealt with someone with thick heads of hair in ages. I apologize. Sorry that like you thought you were gonna leave out of here in like an hour or so, and that it actually took like 2 hours, 3 hours. Like, that's not my fucking issue. It doesn't mean that you just, yeah. Anyway, I'll I think I've been pretty fucking clear. That's a skill issue for you. That's not me issue. You know, like, Jesus. It's like, who, and also, why would you charge me a detangling fee? Because my hair wasn't tangled. And why would you charge me two of them? And a detangling fee was like $45 each, roughly, maybe even more. And she charged me two of them. And then on top of that, guess what? The deep conditioner that she said was just $5. It actually was 25. And she actually was like, "Oh yeah, and I charged per pump." I don't, that's not how that has ever fucking worked for me. So it's like 25, 50, 75, and just, no, that's never worked that way. Anyway, let's just say calamity happened, and let's just say I'm a very fast runner. The security guard was very nice because he, I don't know, maybe there's laws saying you can't touch people. And yeah, I'm glad that I didn't get caught hiding in those bushes, but I'm glad that I got home safely because fuck those people. And also my silk press slightly reverted on the way home, but it's like, fuck it, she wasn't that great at her job anyway. And I just thought to myself, okay, it's like I either have to deal with just like whatever the fuck that shit was, or like someone in my own race who's going to be extremely snarky the whole time and make it not a relaxing experience. Or like snarky over dumb shit. It's like, why are you mad at me because I said that I want my ends flipped? Why are you mad at me because I asked if you could like go a bit like deeper on the scalp, or that the water is actually a bit too cold? Like, Jesus. Fucking hate it. And I've had a million times of getting my hair done and it's gone bad. Once I was getting like a touch up relaxer, and then the woman tried to make an excuse for why she wanted to charge my mom more money, and she had a full on screaming match on the phone with my mother in the bathroom trying to demand my mother give her more money to do my hair. And then the bitch, guess what? She was, oh my god, it's like it was this dirty ass shop, and she put relaxer all over hair on my head that was already relaxed. So yeah, let's just say, was I extremely fucking slick and shiny? And did I have perfectly straight hair? Yes, I did. But was it also falling out heavy? Yes, the fuck it was. And did I also have to deal with her being a snarky bitch who also kept going in the bathroom to either talk shit about me or my mother? Absolutely, I did. I actually remember I at some point I was like, I want to have my hair like in a style that is like cute and also like has my natural hair, like no extensions, no anything, just like an easy to maintain like style that's cute. I opted for twists, and I have a full head of very thick hair, very very thick hair. So I went to this woman who said, like, I showed her the style and everything. She said she could do it. Let's just say a style that could have very easily been achieved with just like a simple hair washing, a mild-ish like hair blowout, not even to the point where it's bone straight or whatever, just like to make it dry. And she heard and knew every step of the way what I wanted to do. And instead, let's just say a look that could have been entirely achievable even by like a fucking toddler who had some hair mousse and some half decent hand coordination, she fucked up. And I remember I left that place with these skinny, scrawny, like little. It looked like I had tiny little strings all over my head, and she greased the hair down. I looked fucked up. I looked like Cynthia from Rugrats. It was so bad that I remember I just took a photo of my scalp, of all like, oh, it was so bad. I forgot there were like chunks of orange buildup from how much product she used. Why would she use hair grease? Why did she try to straighten my hair? Oh, she knew. Mm. Anyway, all I did was send a photo of my head, and I was like, "Hi, this is what my hairstylist did to me," and they just were like, "Yeah, we're giving you your fucking money back. We can't give you back the deposit, sadly, but we anything else, yeah, just it's coming back to you." I once went to this fucking hairstylist called Soul Salon, I think is the name of it. Oh my god, that was the hottest mess ever. Cause I remember she was advertising like, "Ooh, I have freestyle Mondays. If you want to be someone I can practice work on, then here's like sign up." I signed up and I sent her a photo of what I wanted. She said that she was doing stitch braid looks, and I looked at some stitch braids, but I saw one look that was interesting. It was like stitch braids in the front and like a few singles or like rows in the back. And I sent her a photo. I was like, "Hi, is this photo doable?" She was like, "Yes, absolutely. That's 100% doable. That counts for the stitch braid deal." And I tried to hit her up about like any specific hair I should get. She said any hair should be fine. But she did say she had a preference for like one brand. I sent a photo of this one hair pack I liked that was like, I don't know, like one of those TB613 like blondish black hair colors. She didn't respond. I bought the pack anyway. Let's just say when I showed up to the spot, not only was the owner of Soul Salon, not only was she like fucking she was like 20 minutes late, and it annoyed me because I had been at work all fucking night, and I made sure I rushed to that place half asleep, no energy, nothing. Just like to be on time, just for her to show up like at like 8:50 a.m. or maybe even later. And then we eventually get seated, and then the first thing she tells me is, "By the way, the hairstyle you want, we can't do it. Like it's just not doable. That doesn't count." And I was like, "Oh, can I was told over text that it was, and she was like, "Yeah, well, clearly it's not." And then she just had a massive fucking attitude, so goddamn snarky. She just was like, "Yeah, well, clearly it's not. Like, that doesn't even look like a stitch braid look." And I just said, "Okay." Like, she was being so rude and hostile. If you saw a photo, you would be like, "That's clearly a stitch braid look. It just has like a few rows in the back that aren't like entirely like cornrowed or whatever." Like, but it. Mm. And I just kind of asked her, and I was like, "Can I ask why this didn't get told to me sooner?" And she was like, "Oh, well, I had an assistant who was a white woman, and she didn't know this type of stuff." And like that I could let slide. But then she kept making passive aggressive, like slick ass condescending remarks, basically trying to insult my intelligence. Like, "Yeah, I don't know why you thought that deal would work anyway. It's not a stitch braid look. Anyone else would know it was in a stitch braid look, blah blah blah." And she also, I asked, "When did the assistant get fired?" She said like this Friday. And I said, "Okay, well," and then mind you, it's like we met up, and it was like, so it's like you fired your assistant for doing a bad job on like what, Thursday, Friday, and I meet up with you on Monday. That means you had several days, because I texted like multiple times within those days too, just to clarify things. You had all the time in the world to look at the photo, and be like, oh, to just look back and see what your assistant fucked up on, or let me know what changed. You had 3 days and you just chose not to. Anyway, and then even worse, like I had to like last minute pull up a hairstyle that I thought was decent, and it would have made me look more like like if I thought I was gonna leave like fucking Beyonce from Destiny's Child, like when she had her braids, and then now I'm gonna look like a weird like Kesha in the Crazy Kids video, or kind of like Queen Latifah from Set It Off. Actually, no, I did leave looking like Queen Latifah from Set It Off, and this part is what really pissed me off. I left the. Sorry, one second, I'm half asleep and tipsy. Oh my god. And then, even then, sitting down, like, I had to choose, like, a sudden, like, a style as she was just being a condescending bitch. It's like she would not stop yammering on just nonstop insults. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, like, she could have just said, like, oh, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't notice before, but this actually doesn't count for the stitch braid look. It actually, I think it, like, varies too much from what I want, like blah blah blah. She could have just kept it simple, like, oh, I'm sorry, my assistant was incorrect. This is not a stitch braid look, so we can't do it. Sorry for not letting you know sooner. We can choose another look for you today, though. That could have been it, but instead she kept wanting to just throw in these random little slick comments, and it pissed me off. And like, she even had an attitude when I asked, like, can I ask why I wasn't like told this sooner, like in the 3 days there was when the assistant got fired. And she looked at me like I was fucking crazy. Let's just say her attitude was the shittiest fucking attitude I've dealt with. God damn. And eventually we did sit down, and then guess what? She also told me that several packs of the hair that I got, like, she was like, oh, I can't do this hair pack you wanted. And it was my favorite pack. I wanted to look like a auburn, like rose gold hair look. And she said that the pack was unusable. I said, not even for a little bit? Like, not even at the, like, towards the fun, or like, and I knew like certain braiding methods that could be done. But either way, she just was like, no, 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 it's gonna look a mess. It's gonna look ghetto. It's gonna, like, it's no, because this Kanekalon, I don't like this brand. It's not cool, and I'm not gonna use it on you. So, and then she was trying to just, so it's like, oh, cool. So I bought all these packs of hair and wasted money just for her to not even want to use like half of the shit I got. That kind of sucks. Let's just say at some point though, like, she sorry, she did so much within such a small amount of time of me being in that salon, that I remember I just texted my homegirl, and I wasn't even saying anything mean. I just texted her, like, in my lap, just kind of with the brightness down. I was like, why did this girl tell me, like, show up like fucking 20 minutes late to the appointment, and then like the second we step in she tells me that she can't do the hair look that we agreed on. And then on top of that, she's just been super rude and making like nonstop remarks about me, acting like I'm stupid. And I was just texting my homegirl about it. I was like, this is actually kind of ridiculous. And I guess the braider, at that point she was like doing some parting on my head and stuff. Oh, actually, no. Fuck, I forgot to mention this part. As the braider was doing my parting on my hair, like, she was like, she had the reference photo, the new hairstyle look we were using, and she said that she was just drafting out a pattern, sure, but oh my god, like, you could tell her, like, oh, she was like, which way do you want the swoop to be? I said, oh, I would like it this way. She entirely did it the opposite way. And then it took like 4 times of me saying, like, it's like, bitch, why are you trying to do the swoop on my hair with the parting over here when I keep, obviously, how do I put this? If you see someone saying, I would like the parting in this to be like curved and then straight this way, and you see me say that 3 to 4 fucking times, why would you then try to part it this way? Because you see how my finger did this? And I'm a really fucking nice person, so I don't like to get condescending to people, not to their fucking face. But, geez, it's like, fuck. Anyway, to make a long story short, let's just say as the braider was trying to do like the rest of my parting, and even then you could tell that shit was looking fucked up. It's like it was not looking like the reference photo at all. She was making parts way too big and sloppy, and I just thought to myself, like, this is a mess, and she's just been so rude the whole fucking time. Like, what's up with the egos among cosmetologists? That's what pisses me off. So if you're mad about the whole, ooh, Tamidi said she was gonna go to a white hairstylist, it's because a white hairstylist will do something stupid, like, oh, I'm gonna passive aggressively add a bunch of shit to your bill, but I'm gonna be so sweet and say your hair looks great and nice, and like, they'll do shit like that. Meanwhile, black hairstylists will just be like, oh, you said that you don't like how I just rolled in my garbage cans into my hair salon and then tried to instantly touch your hair? Fuck you. Oh, You don't like that I'm pouring like pink lotion directly into this jar that has other people's hair mixed into it? Fuck you. Like, ew. And also the hell that actually did happen. Oh my god. Anyway, let's just say I left the Soul Salon place because she got an attitude and she was like, "Oh, I see you're on your phone talking shit about me, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I'm not gonna let someone sit here and disrespect me, bitch. Why are you're supposed to be focusing on my hair? Why are you looking over your shoulder at what's on my phone? You're fucking weird. You're supposed to be. See, that's why. See, no wonder the parting was so bad because the bitch just wanted to be nosy. I don't like that shit. Also, I once had this hairstylist in San Jose. I remember my ex boyfriend at the time. He was paying for my hair to get done, and I found this braid on Instagram who seemed like she did it for a really good price. I hit her up. I said, "Hi, I would like these like, I would like to get the I said something like medium, almost small, like medium box braids. I forget if I asked for knotless or not. Let's just say, oh my god, I don't like it. I think it's a bad omen if a place does not let me sit in front of the mirror as they do my hair. Because let's just say I left that place with mega jumbo wide box braids and an overgreased scalp. And the mother was just sitting watching, knowing damn well that I did not look good. And she was like, "Ooh, girl, you can braid. I'm so proud of my daughter." And it's like, I remember I looked in the mirror and I remember. I specifically was like, "Hi, by the way, do you have curlers at your place? Because I can bring hair curlers." Because I showed her that in the photos, I wanted my hair like nice and curled at the end. If you're wondering for a reference photo of what the hairstyle would be like, let's just say I wanted like Little Mermaid esque flowy braids, beautiful, nice and full, and kind of like Blue Ivy's braids that she had at a Warriors game. You could look up the photo for that. It's a great. I've worn that look before. Like it's a great hairstyle. But this motherfucking bitch, like she was like, I got curlers. You ain't gotta bring anything. Like kind of sassy. Guess what? I show up to her place. She doesn't have curlers. She didn't even check to see if she had curlers. She just lied to me and was like, "Yeah, I got curlers. Don't trip on it." Just for me to show up. She gets done doing my hair. And then, like, I already was kind of looking in the mirror and I was just like, this does not look good. But then on top of that, but, oof. Sorry, no, I looked in the mirror afterwards, I'm pretty sure. Either way, she realizes she doesn't have curlers, so she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna just give you crinkles." I fucking hate crinkles. I think crinkles are fucking ugly. I was like, "Please don't give me crinkles." And she was like, "Oh no," and she said, "I got a strategy." And she tried to do this thing with some like metal clips and tried to twist them around and dump them in some water. And it just led to some very, very fucked up crinkles. And she was like, "See, like, it still looks good, girl. Practically the same thing." No, it's not. So anyway, I remembered the look my ex gave me as I left that fucking shitty ass apartment in San Jose. As I walked to their car, and my ex just kind of glared like this. And then he got in the car and said, "I thought braids were supposed to look good." I said, "I thought they were too. Because how did I ask for like medium box braids with like curly ends and I sent a reference photo and anything and I left with fucking jumbo box braids and crinkles?" Mmm. And then my ex was a piece of shit. He was just like, "You look kind of like a child." And ugh, it did very much look like a style that you would be on a 4-year old, not, like a 20-year old. Not like I was going out anyway. It was a fucking pandemic, so it's like, still, I didn't pay for it, and my hair is still kind of done. I just would wear bandanas because it did not look good. No. Oh yeah, I had this African hair braider, and like I said, that was the one who was like reeling in garbage cans from their into like I've never seen a salon do that. Just take garbage cans off the street and pull them into their salon to just sit there. And then she would try to be touching on my hair immediately after and get an attitude if I asked her to wash her fucking hands. She also like and also she just had like these dirty ass combs caked with fucking filth. And when I was like, "Can you use a different comb or wash this?" She was like, "You can wash it for me." So there I was washing her combs for her, but every comb was disgusting. And she was a dumbass bitch because it's like because she had this container that had like some obviously stale pink lotion in it and some clumps of someone else's hair. Seemed like real human hair. And she had the bottle of pink lotion totally unopened and stuff. I brought it from home, if I recall correctly. Wait, no, she did have that was her own pink lotion. Never mind. Big bottle of pink lotion, and also a lid that was like totally clean and empty. Why would you not decide I'm gonna put pink lotion directly into my hand from the bottle, or I'm going to put pink lotion into the empty cap that is unsullied. Why would you decide I'm going to mix this fresh pink lotion with this stale pink lotion and this random person's hair, and I'm going to put it on this new client's scalp in front of me? And then when I called it out, she was like, "Oh my god, you complain about everything. If you don't like my combs, bring your own comb. You don't like my lotion, bring your own lotion." And all of that. But simply put, I just went because it's like at that point, I just thought to myself, mm. And her shop was like, it's at some point she was like, "You criticize my hygiene. Go check out my bathroom." And I said, "I'd rather not." She said, "Go look." And she actually was refusing to let me sit down unless I went to her bathroom. I went into her bathroom. That shit was actually 10 times cleaner than the rest of her salon. It's like, okay. It's like, it's nice that your bathroom smells like lavenders and lemons and vanilla, and that you have like no stains on your toilet. Clean. Everything was actually, it was like a dent. It's like a hospital in her bathroom. I was actually kind of impressed. But then it makes the rest of her shop look worse because it's like, okay, it, why do you just have like stale barbicide and hair covered combs just, and why are there garbage cans in here? Her shop was so weird. It had 6 refrigerators in it. Why do you have that in a beauty salon? And just like random goods that I don't know. Maybe she used to be a beauty supply store but changed facets. I don't know. She had a stank fucking attitude. She also was kind of stank herself. And she kept also insisting not to use any hair products aside from just like oil or whatever. And she kept talking in a thick accent. She was like, "Your hair is too broke. Your hair is too broke." And she had this like thing in her throat. It's like, and I kept saying, "I don't know what that means." Maybe she was trying to say some parts of my hair were broken, maybe. But it's like, I don't fucking know. Anyway, to sum up this fucking story, she was a hot mess. But then by the time she also, I showed her a braiding look, and instead of putting the parting on the side like I asked, she put the parting for the braids. It was this look where it's like half the braids would be flowing down the side like this, kind of like a retro look. Like, imagine not quite like a mohawk, but like, I don't know how to explain it. There's photos on my Instagram. But either way, it's like some, it was gonna be a few braids here on the side done, and then the rest would flow over, like, it was a cute look. But she put the parting way too high, so it kind of just looked like I almost had this like fucked up half braids going down, half cornrows going back sort of look. And but I didn't complain because I thought for the most part it did still look pretty damn good, and I thought I could work with it. But it did piss me off because it's like, if she just, why would you put the parting like here when it's put, anyway. Either way, it was for a nice, decently low price, like 180. And she, it was like, for an extra 20, I'll curl your hair. And I was like, that sounds great. And I showed her like what kind of curls I would like. Simply put, oh my god, I was glad she had curlers. I was disappointed to know she didn't know how to use them, because she dipped my ends and then the hair came out not remotely curly at all. I know how Collect Salon works. I use the good brands too. Simply put, it's like the curls just fucking the curls did not remotely sit. It's like, I don't know how to explain it other than, imagine you get like a piece of pasta and then you dip it in boiling hot water, and then you see how it gets like limp and slightly wiggly, but it's not curled, right? That's what happened with my hair. And she instead just tried to gaslight me like, "Yeah, nice beautiful curls." And I just was like, that is just, it looks the exact same but wet and actually slightly tangled. And I just asked her, like, "Is it okay if we do a redip? I don't, the curls didn't set very well." She was like, "Oh my god, you have issue with everything. Oh, you want me to do so much work. Now you want me to dip your ends again? It looks fine. No, no, I'm not doing it. Not doing it." And I just said, "Okay, then I'm not paying you the 20 fucking dollars." This bitch gave me a fucked up ass snarl, like open mouth glare, as if I said I wasn't paying for the entire service. She gave me a look as if I said that I shit on puppies for a living or something. Like, no, ma'am, you're not about to see. Because bitches want to sit and play in your face. I fucking hate that. Don't worry, I also hate white hairstylists. Here's another story that fits. So I remember I used to go to this cosmetology school to get my hair done. I've had good and bad experiences there from plenty of fucking people. I don't want to talk about it because everything about that place was fucked. But they were cheap. Like, the only place you could get a relaxer for like $40. So I was gonna take it. I remember one time I got my hair relaxed, and the white person, they were trans. That's not relevant. I'm including it just because it was a recent transition sort of thing, and they were still like, they were good at their own hair texture, and they definitely did not know much about women's black hair. I mean, black women's hair and stuff. But it's like, anyway, sorry. I know that sounds fucked up to say. I probably didn't even need to mention it, but I guess a part of me is just like, you only just kind of have started learning how to do your own hair, and now you, let's just say it like this, they were almost done graduating from cosmetology school and stuff. You know, we had plenty of good experiences before. They used to be very sweet and nice in my mind. But then I remember at some point, like they relaxed my hair and they're like, your hair is way too, like, you need to really moisturize your hair. You need to moisturize your hair more often, more often, more often. And I was like, oh, I usually do what they recommend, what any stylist recommended me before. I'm always told by them that it's not good to like get my hair too wet often, and that I'm supposed to just like use oil to like moisturize my scalp and keep the like moisture on my hair locked in. And they were just like, no, 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 never. And you know what they did? They, a white person, like on my freshly relaxed, freshly straightened, like they spent, like they just got done blow drying it and straightening it. They got a spray bottle and they sprayed me down with water. And they're like, this is good for your hair. You need this for your hair. Because no, 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 absolutely. Oil does not do anything, does not penetrate the shaft, doesn't do anything good. You don't need any of that. Like, you just need water. And mind you, I like, mm, and then I just kind of, like, they were so fucking rude and snarky. They would not stop yammering on, yammering, yammering, yammering about, like, you need to do deep conditioners this much and you need tons of water. Always spray your hair down with water when it feels dry. And then I was about to leave the place feeling kind of weird because it's like, why were they so fucking rude about that? And I was about to leave. Thankfully, this black woman at the cosmetology school, bless her heart, I love her to this day. She saw me about to leave with like soaking wet, relaxed hair, and she was like, "Oh, excuse me, what's going on with this client here?" And the person I was dealing with, they were like, "Oh, well, I was just telling her that, her relaxers are very corrosive to the hair, so she needs to put in extra work to make sure her hair stays hydrated. So I just sprayed her down with water." And then the hairstylist looked at her like she was fucking crazy. And then she was like, no, actually, no, they don't need to do any of that. And then in like a single, like 1 minute or less, they were like, they don't need to do any of that. Sweetheart, your hair is perfectly fine. Relaxers do damage it a bit because, they can take out extra nutrients and make it a little bit more brittle, but truly, you don't need anything. Just oil is fine. And then, like, they actually took, and then they said, take her back to her chair, like, straighten her hair back again. And so then the white person I was dealing with, they just like were seething in embarrassment. And they just were quiet as fuck for the rest of the time. And they just sat me down, re blow dried my hair. Like, I don't think they straightened it again, but they did blow dry it, but whatever. And then they were just like, and then I just, mm, mm. Sometimes people just, I already don't like people enough. People treat me better when my hair gets done in a way that is deemed socially acceptable, aka Eurocentric. Like if you have like long wavy braids that aren't ghetto looking, or if you have straightened hair, then it's like you'll get good treatment. But I swear to God, nothing can be worse than just being at a fucking hair salon and dealing with all of the different types of like angles of microaggressions and bullshit and stupidity. And no matter how many times you give a reference photo, or say what you like, it will still not stop someone from doing the exactly wrong thing. And if anything, at that same cosmetology school, I have to tell this story in another video, but I remember I went there for like my hair getting done and also like a brow wax. They were like, sadly, we don't have the materials for a wax, but if you want, we have like a coordination teacher on set who can like basically like shave your eyebrows for you and like and do like tweezings. I was like, okay, that sounds good. And I swear to God, like I came in with like nice thick bushy brows, even thicker than how they look now. So a lot of material to work with. I told them basically what look I wanted. I said I want them arched, but mainly just like a cleanup, nothing too much, just like a to bring out my natural arch and like a cleanup. I still want them nice and thick, like in full, just like a cleanup. And they were like, okay, okay. And then you know what happened? This bitch, the teacher, as well as the two other, maybe even three other students who surrounded me, they watched her do her thing. And then why, when I held up the fucking mirror, she removed the entire tail off of my eyebrow, and even some here. And I just had this roly-poly sized bit here. And she was like, do you like it? And it's like, she made it skinnier too. And I just kind of was like, You know how, and I was really sweet too, overly nice. Cause I was about to cry, but I was trying to keep it together. And I'm usually a much more nice and gentle person than you would believe. I was like, and I love communication. I love to assume the best of people, and I don't like making other people feel bad. I was like, you know how I said I wanted my eyebrows full and like to keep the full shape, and I wanted them just like a mild cleanup, and I wanted them arched. Does this look? And I just gestured to my fucking half missing, more like three-fourths missing, tiny roly poly sized eyebrow, and I was like, does this look, you know, full or thick or arched? It just it isn't. And then the lady looked at it and she was like, yeah, yeah, it doesn't, yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And I just went to the bathroom. And then I swear to God, when I left that bathroom, like the concierge was like so shitty towards me because they could tell I was crying in the bathroom, acting like I was so dramatic. It wasn't like I was screaming, yelling, crying, but I will say, I also told them in advance that I had a fucking modeling shoot the next day. I had to have my runway walk and I had to look good for the photo shoot because I was auditioning to be a part of like a fashion runway fucking thing. And you mean to tell, like, if anything, I should have been like, you fucking ugly, stupid bitches. I should have never trusted you because you have clowny fucking overdrawn on both lips, red lipstick, and no fucking eyebrows, and a receding hairline. Why the fuck do you work in a cosmetology school? You fucked my shit up. I'm not gonna get hired now. Like, but instead, I was being sweet and demure. But either way, like, one of the people who had fucking sense, they actually were like, yeah, they brought the lady over to apologize, and she just did this, like, passive aggressive ass, I'm sorry that you felt it was so bad. I didn't think it was so bad. I didn't know you'd have such a reaction. I just thought I did good. I didn't think you'd have such a, and she just kept repeating herself and like not even apologizing, just trying to be condescending and rude as fuck. And I hate that I was so young and sweet, because if I could go back in time I would have just said fuck you, you fucking cunt. But since I wasn't, but I still was gonna lose my fucking shit, but I still managed to keep it cute and decorum filled, even when I'm gonna lose my shit. I just looked at her and I was like, you could just stop talking. It's okay. Stop. And then, like, she eventually fucked off. I was like, you don't have to apologize. It's fine. Just leave. And I actually, no, I'm pretty sure I went nicer than that. I'm pretty sure I even just said, like, I accept your apology. Go. Like, just stop. You stop now. I don't need to hear anymore. And she fucked off. And they were like, yeah, we won't charge you for the eyebrow waxing service. And they were like, would you like us to like try our best to like shape up your other brow or like try to make them match? And I said, no, honestly, I think I'll just, if it didn't work the first time, even with three witnesses and like a supposed cosmetology teacher, like who's supposedly skilled, I'm just not gonna risk it. Like, I think I'll just leave. And then the lady, black woman, she looked at me and she was like, so you just gonna leave looking like that? I mean, okay, yeah, go ahead. And it's like, why are you getting an attitude with me, bitch? You saw how they massacred this fucking eyebrow. I got like 20% eyebrow left. I will leave with my fucked up hairy caterpillar this, one roly poly eyebrow that. And then I just simply asked, like, I was like, can someone just like simply like give me like a bang or something so that it can cover this eyebrow? Like, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we could do that. I remember leaving the fucking cosmetology school, and this guy, he saw me walking down the street, because for the most part, I did look good. I did. It's like, okay, I still left that place lips glossed, nice earrings on, waist snatched, titties sitting pretty. I looked amazing. Hair was still nice and shiny and coiffed and curled. And I walked down the street. This guy looked at me and he was like, hey, looking good. And I just simply, like, I did a hair flip. And the wind blew at the same time because I just, like, did a quick little look his direction. And I was like, thank you. But my hair flipped. And that led to the wind blowing up my hair, and he just saw me missing one eyebrow, and my other eyebrow was just fucking hairy as shit. So I just was like, oh, thank you, like a little, thinking I was serving. And he just like watched silently, and he just was like, all right. And then let's just say, how did the modeling shoot the next day went? Oh, I went to this motherfucking, I went to that fucking photo shoot, and they were like, can you move your hair out the way for me? I said, I prefer to leave it. And but I obliged. I tried to move it a little bit so that it wouldn't like fully reveal my eyebrow. But the photographer obviously saw it, and he just was like, Huh, okay. And then just like snapped a photo and I said, smile. And I already wasn't the best at smiling because of my autism. I tried to smile. He just was like, okay. And then he snapped a photo. And then we had to do a one way walk, which I'm pretty sure wasn't the best walk I could have had either. And yeah, let's just say very quickly, like, it took like less than 24 hours for the woman who wanted to sign me to a modeling agency to entirely revoke her fucking offer. And yeah, never, yeah. Fuck that cosmetology school. That's like, also I have stories with them where, oh my god, I remember I called them at some point because they used to do courtesy calls to remind you or about like your appointments in case you forgot. And I just called and I was like, "Hey, just to is it possible I could request?" Like they said, "Oh, we don't really do mandatory courtesy calls anymore." I said, "Oh, is it possible that I could just request one?" And at first they said sure, but then later on they got an attitude. They were like, "We cannot make an exception." Da 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 da. Like because like later on when I pointed out that they didn't give me a courtesy call when they said they would, and that led to me missing an appointment. And then even worse, like, okay, so I'll say it as quickly as possible because this video is long enough. I swear to God, at some point I called them because my memory also is bad and they weren't doing courtesy calls anymore. And I just called them like, oh hey, just checking. My appointment today, is it still at 3 o'clock? I want to make sure I'm not getting the time wrong. The other person on the end, this fucking Saucy Santana ass bitch, great value Saucy Santana. They basically huffed like, yes, your appointment's still at 3. Yes, it's still open. It's always going to be open. There's no issue, no changes. I didn't ask if there were any changes. I just asked if like my appointment was still at that time because I wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally fuck up the time and show up early or late or whatever. Anyway, tell me why. A few hours passed and then they basically called me. They were like, "Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, I forget if it was 10 minutes or a few hours. All I remember is that I was eventually at like my ex's house. And then I got called by the same place. They were like, "Oh, actually, sorry, ma'am, I forgot to tell you. Everyone's actually graduating today. There's a graduation for the entire cosmetology school. So actually, we're not even going to be open. And you like your appointment has to be canceled. Right. Sorry, I didn't let you know sooner." How do you forget that everyone in your fucking business is graduating? How the fuck do you forget a graduation that keeps the entire business closed when I call and ask about it? What the fuck? So we rescheduled, and then, oh yeah, this is what yeah, if I remember, they did call me like hours later to let me know about that. But we rescheduled for the next week. And then I guess I suppose I asked for a courtesy call because I was like, simply put, they didn't fucking bother to tell me that, yeah, but they got an attitude. They like, we don't do that. Okay, and I was like, my appointment is for 3, right? They were like, yes, it's for 3. I show up at 3. They were like, oh, actually, your appointment was at 2:30, and yeah, like we can't squeeze you in for today. You're gonna have to reschedule. And I was pissed because I had this like super fancy date with this guy who's gonna be like giving me money and shit, and I can't just show up fucking looking busted. And let's just say, because I want to wrap this story up, the concierge acted such an ass that I had to do something that led to me hiding in a Pete's Coffee and then hiding in a bookstore as they kept trying to call me after from what I did. Also, I got to enjoy an entire jar of pens for several years after that. That was a mess. I would like it if people could treat me nice so that I don't have to do things like steal jars of pens and things that I have to plead the fifth over. I've just dealt with so much uncouthness. It's like, oh yeah, I remember the day before my senior photos, I was gonna get my hair done, and I remember the woman I was gonna get my hair done. Like I called the Uber. I was already on my way out there. Called the Uber and everything. I swear to fucking tell me why I was only like 5 minutes away from the destination, and this was before you could change your pickup destination. I mean, your drop off destination in Uber anyway. Like, if I recall correctly, this bitch let me know a mere 5 minutes before my arrival. Hey, she just texted me, "Hey girl, I have to actually, I double booked. I can't do you today. So you're gonna go have to find somewhere else." So it's like just totally last minute. And like, so I just had to sit there in front of her salon that she wasn't even fucking at because she entirely forgot about my appointment and just decided to fuck off somewhere else. And it's like the day before senior photos. a mere fucking day before senior photos. And I have relaxer that I'm trying to get done. And you just cancel an appointment? And Anyway, let's just say it led to a wild goose chase and a very stupid, long winded, stupid day that I don't want to talk to you about. I'd rather repress that memory. And then that's how I ended up at that ratchet salon where the lady, oh my god, that place was awful. Like, there was this kid who got like whacked super fucking hard over some bullshit. And then every single adult in the room just yelled, "Shut the fuck up!" to the baby when it started crying. And it was like a fucking 1 year old. It's like, and I was just at their ghetto little fucking weird back part of the salon that was filthy as fuck. And then she tried to make an excuse where she's like, "Oh, your daughter, oh, you have a lot of new growth, so actually I think I'm gonna have to get charge your mother like an extra 100 or so," or like she kept trying to make excuses saying, "Oh, I want to relax the entire your whole head, not just like the blah blah blah." My mother called her. She was like, "Don't fucking do that." Anyway, let's just say I left that place with like my entire head of hair. Let's just say my hair was straightened and then falling out for months. And then even then, she was a bitch to me and multiple people and my mother the entire time. And she was so rude that at some point my mom was trying to get a hold of me on the phone, like, "Hey, just fucking leave. Don't let her do anything to your hair." But like, yeah, let's just say I have a lot of bad experiences with people doing my hair. A lot, to the point where anytime I book an appointment, like, the best experience I actually had was this one hair braider. And she was talented, but I swear to God, it's like she just was, let's just say she offered me an unmarked gun. That was a sweet offer of her because I did almost get kidnapped in her area like a mere few minutes before she stepped out. So, thank God she stepped out when she did. Otherwise, I would probably not be alive right now. God bless her soul. Oh, and then at some point, she lost her Cartier bracelet. I don't think it was real, but simply put, nothing is scarier than being in an environment with a black woman who's losing her ever loving shit and screaming and crying and being hysterical. And she lost a supposed 50K, like, or was it 15,000 or 50,000? I forget. Expensive ass bracelet made of allegedly real gold that somehow fell off her wrist despite it being screwed in. And she was freaking the fuck out. And I just simply was like, I like, don't do anything to me. I will strip naked if I have to, go through any bag. I don't have it. I swear to God. And it just, an appointment that should have been like not that long ended up being stretched out for hours because she was tearing apart her apartment and calling up family member who also were screaming at her on the phone saying she was a fucking idiot for losing it. And then she was just awkwardly braiding my hair and wiping snot on her arm and then braiding my hair with the same hands and then just like repeatedly doing that. And then it's just like sobbing her fucking lungs out. Awkward. But I left with my hair looking fucking amazing, and she did find the bracelet in her car. Yippee! And anyway. Oh, and she asked me for dating advice. And let's just say advice, I think she felt some sort of way about the advice she got. Because next time she did my hair, she was like passive aggressive as fuck and kind of weird. And also, like, yeah, I remember she also was like, "You don't have enough hair for this look, so I'm gonna use like," and she insisted on using a different color pack of hair that was in her arsenal that very much did not match the rest of my head. Ugh. Yeah, dark brown hair with medium brown in it. It's like, mm. And there's one more braider that I could mention, but I would just say like she did such a let's just say I got my hair braided from her, and then afterwards my hair did get like tangled up in a knot from like all the bullshit. Like, she just wasn't that good of a braider. She didn't like the neckline she was using, and instead of just letting me go out and buy some more, she was insistent on using it still. And let's just say she, like, I thought it looked good, but she must have felt some sort of way about it since she didn't even take a picture of it when I left. And that's what braiders always do for their portfolio. She didn't do that shit. And then like a few weeks passed by, and I was like, okay, you know what? This hurts my scalp. It feels like my hair is actually being pulled off of my head. It's actually extremely painful, and I hate it. So like, fuck that shit, really. And I hit her up and I was like, "Hi, I don't know if there's anything that can be done about this, but it feels like my braids are like my scalp is burning, and it feels like my hair is being ripped out, yada yada yada." And she just kind of made excuses and was like, oh, well, if you hit me up sooner, I probably could have done something. But now, no, it's like I can't do a refund, can't rebraid your hair, nothing. And then I called her anything but a child of God. I called her a plenty of bad words and left a pretty scathing review. Yeah, it's like I'm tired of going to places where they say they can do silk presses and then they do blowouts instead and then do not do anything close to a silk press. And then, or it's like, oh, let me go to this person. They overcharge me just because they feel like it. Let me go to this person. Oh, they're unhygienic and rude and stank attituded. Oh, let me go to this person. Oh, they entirely fucked up the look. Like, how do you. Oh my god, the one with the coils. It's like that could have been achieved with like my oh I've done twists before. I've done twists. I just wanted someone else to do them on the parts of my head that I can't reach with some easy mousse, and she could have done that shit like that. But you know what she did instead? This fucking bitch. It's just like, why would you say you can do twists? Why did I leave with straightened, greasy little rat tail? Just So yeah, if you're ever like, wow, Timothy, your hair looks really fucked up, that's because people are bad. It's like at some point I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I stuck with relaxers for such a long time because I was like, it's relatively easy. You slap a cream on my scalp, we wait, boom, low maintenance for everybody involved. Hard to fuck it up. People still manage to. They have many times. And it's like sometimes it's easier to just be at home all the time with my hair fucked up and not giving a fuck. You know, that's just the way to be. Cause I don't care. It's like I don't have enough spoons already. My mental health is already not that great, and I'm very tired of having experiences like that. So if you see me with my hair fucked up, yeah, it's like I'm not gonna pay for the amazingly expensive experience of being mistreated and like, oh, mm, bye.